Hello, welcome back to The Good, the Bad and the Stupid. It's Monday the 16th of September. Hopefully you've had a good weekend and enjoyed all that beautiful weather. 25 degrees both Saturday and Sunday. Probably a few nice suntans knocking about today. If you're anything like me, then you missed it both because you decided to go to work and chase the pot of gold. Stupidly, I thought I could get the best of both worlds and get the money and the sun. But nothing ever goes according to plan like that, does it? So by the time I got home, the sun had well and truly took its hat off. So don't worry, I'm still pale and interesting. Hopefully there's going to be a few more sunny days to come over the next week or two, because apparently there's a heat wave on the way. Then I'm going to take the executive decision and take a day off. Hopefully I haven't missed it and made a bit of a what's it called? A faux pas. And I'm going to wait all the way till next summer. Otherwise, I'll be bloody translucent by the time that comes along. What's been going on? The weekend's been quite lively, hasn't it? Loads going on. The Peaky Blinders Festival was on in Birmingham. Anybody wonders where my accent's from? I've said it before. If you're listening from another country and you're thinking, what is this stupid accent I've never heard before? Well, if you heard the Peaky Blinders, it's the same accent, but I've got the real one. They're actors trying to do my accent, which means that they don't do it very well. This is how it's meant to sound. And it's been a festival on in the Birmingham city centre. I think they've had Liam Gallagher there and lots of other acts, and they've had actors out the show and stuff like that. And everybody's gone there dressed, looking like the Peaky Blinders. I mean, it looked like a great festival. It looked like a lot of fun. And but is the Peaky Blinders, are they not milking that fucking, milking it a little bit too much, because it's on the TV at the moment and everything seems to be around the name of the Peaky Blinders. I don't get me wrong, I think it would be great to go to it, but it just seems that there's a lot going on and they don't want to wear out the name or sort of fucking people get bored of it or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? There was somebody had put out a trainer on it was a bullshit, it turned out to be, I think, because there was an Adidas trainer going around on Twitter that somebody had put, and it was a Peaky Blinders style brogue shoe with Adidas, but it was called Adidas Small Heath. Small Heath is a town in a part of Birmingham which is featured in the Peaky Blinders a lot. And everyone was like going, they're fucking shit, they're the worst trainers going and everything. And it was like, imagine like a brogue shoe, white, spat, what they called them, spats, were they? Anyway, but it turned out to be somebody had mocked it up. Fucking whoever did it was a good designer, and some people probably would wear them, to be fair. It wasn't the worst looking shoe as such. You just can't have a shoe and trainer combination, do you know what I mean? It actually looked quite good as a shoe, maybe not so good as a trainer. Anyway, so that was on the Peaky Blinders festival. Also, Patrick Swayze. Anybody see that thing last night? Patrick Swayze's 10-year anniversary since he died, and they had this program on about him, and it was like a couple of hours long documentary about his life and how he became famous and how he the trials and tribulations of his life. Oh my God, I swear to God, at the end of it, it was a weeper, wasn't it? It was like, of course, because he died, but it was like, I had fucking bee stings for eyes by the end. I was like, I'm clearly not over him. He just literally was, because they started showing him all the good stuff all through his life, and then they started showing him going downhill at the end, but he was still brave to the end, and it's pretty tough to watch, really. But it was just interesting to see him going through films like Ghost and other films that he played, what was the other one, Dirty Dancing or whatever else, and how he like had channeled certain emotions from past bad experiences, especially in Ghost, to play like the scene when he was freaking out when he found out that he was actually dead, and he was like looking at his own body or whatever, and he was channeling in the death of his father or something like that. And yeah, it was quite interesting, but at the end, oh my God, it was like I was welling up. It was like, it was tough to watch, but anyway, you just can't imagine. There was that geezer he played in Point Break. That was his best character, wasn't it? Well, it was for me. He played that fucking the hard geezer, the bank robber in Point Break. You just can't imagine him ever fucking carking it, although he carks at the end of the film. But, you know, he was a strong dude, wasn't he? But, yeah, Patrick Swayze's 10-year anniversary since he's died. So, There you go. You should watch it if you. They overdid that as well, because straight afterwards there was a fucking another 2 hour thing on about why he died and how he died, and this conspiracy theory about how, why, and was it any other reason other than the pancreatic cancer. I couldn't be bothered to watch it. I just fucking suffered for 2 hours, and I couldn't go for another 2 hours of like conspiracy theories. So leave the man alone. He's gone now, and might even have to watch another one of it. I'll have to watch Point Break again, maybe. I think it's due another watch. It's been a long time since I watched that. But what other news was out? David Cameron has brought out his autobiography, hasn't he? David Cameron has been dying to come out and fucking blame everybody else but himself for the Brexit fiasco. I'm surprised he can even walk down the street. It's like he must be shitting himself, to go out in public, because at least 50%. Saying that, he's getting both, isn't he? He's getting a pat on the back on one side, and he's getting a slap round the face on the other. I imagine that he finds it fucking difficult to go out without a bouncer or something like that. But anyway, he's brought out his autobiography where he's blaming all and sundry, or apologising for his part in it, and then going on about smoking weed all day long and week long or whatever at school when he was at Eton. Of course they do. More than that even. He's watering it down a bit probably there. He's probably not fucking going all, he's just talking about weed. I bet they were doing fucking everything there, weren't they? So yeah, he's come out and everybody's like pissing on it. Who's buying it anyway? It's most of the important stuff has come out in the press anyway, hasn't it? But he's apparently saying it's the right of the Prime Minister should write his memoirs and put them out there. But I think he's just trying to fucking square a few circles or something or other, and like make it not so much his fault rather than the Conservatives' fault because of the Brexit and the disaster or situation that we find ourselves in. But at the end of the day, he didn't have to lose it. He was meant to carry on in the job, weren't he? So he just did a runner. So that's why people are pissed off. And then you've got Mr. Johnson, who's coming, the Hulk man, the Mr. Hulk, the one who's coming out the weekend saying that Britain is going to be a big Hulk-like character bursting out of the EU or whatever. And everybody's then taking a piss out of him for trying to compare ourselves to the Hulk. And what's this? Somebody's called him. What's his name? Guy Voorstad, the Dutch, I think he is, the guy who works for the European Parliament. He wrote, even to Trump standards, the Hulk comparison is infantile. So he ain't buying it. Is the EU supposed to be scared by this, the British public to be impressed? So he's fucking rubbing people's noses up the wrong way, that's for sure. And basically, is it Mark Ruffalo, the guy who plays the Hulk in the Avengers, comes out and says Boris Johnson forgets that the Hulk only fights for the good of the whole, and he's mad and strong, can also be dense and destructive. So I don't know what the fuck he means by that, but I think he's having a go at Boris Johnson. So yeah, that saga still continues because we haven't got any plans for coming out of it, although we are coming out the 31st. So get your helmets on. You're going to be a bumpy ride, I think. Speaking of bumpy rides, Iran are ready for war. So that's a fucking bumpy ride. We definitely need some fucking helmets and amongst many other things when this kicks off, because Iran are ready for war over an oil attack blame on they're blaming the USA for bombing one of their oil tankers or something or other. So that shit is going to get real if that fucking kicks off. So let's just hope Donald Trump's not as stupid as he looks, because otherwise that is going to be big trouble in Little China. Well, definitely big trouble in fucking the Middle East anyway. Hopefully we don't get roped in. But he's just sacked one of his war hawks anyway, isn't he? You know, that guy looked a bit like Ned Flanders. He definitely, if there was a Simpsons movie, that guy should play Ned Flanders. This him John somebody or other, but he's just sacked him because he's a bit of a war-hungry dude. And next thing you know, fucking Iran are kicking off. But they're sanctioned to fuck, aren't they? So if their back's against the wall, they're coming out. It's fucking, that's the way things are going to go, isn't it? Let's hope they haven't got any money if that's the case and they can't fund it. But, you know, war's a little bit closer to home. It's not just kicking off in Iran against America, it's also kicking off at the Doncaster racecourse. That's right, you what? The Doncaster racecourse, that's right. When women got into a catfight after a day at the horse races, the pair dressed up for the St. Liga meeting and traded blows and pulled each other's hair as they walked into Doncaster. The proper kicking off, the fight like, and then there's geezers all fucking kicking off as well. Apparently it was because Frankie Dettori won and they had bets on Frankie Dettori to win. And they just started smashing each other and stuff. So you're meant to be celebrating, not like kicking the fuck out of each other. I guess somebody must have nicked the winning ticket or lost the winning ticket. But anyway, punches were thrown. They were obviously pissed out the brains and must have been a sight to behold. Very classy. They look classy until their clothes were ripped off them. So there you go. Don't go anywhere near the Middle East and don't go anywhere near Doncaster horse races whenever that's on, because both places are full of nutters by the looks of it. Leads me straight on. I've put these in no kind of order. These are just lending themselves to each other. But I'm going to talk about another nutter now, and it's a Brummie nutter, man after my own heart, Mr. Ozzy Osbourne. That's right, another Brummie. He was talking about his year from hell. He's basically nearly died a few times this year, apparently. What does he say there? He's got 15 screws in his spine, scars, neck surgery, hand surgery, bronchitis, pneumonia, skin infection, clots, and nerve pain. So that was all caused all over this 1 year. One thing led to another. So he's been in the fucking wars in himself, just in his body. And he said that all that, and he's come through it all, and he's had that many overdoses in his life that he thought he doesn't deserve to be here anyway. So it's quite funny that he's got a good sense of humour about it. But what's he say? Oh, he fell over in the toilet and smashed his head and like dislocated something from some screws in his neck, and then it all has from a quad biking accident a long time ago. What I read a while ago was that he what did he get? He had a fucking something to do with his nail. Anyway, he got like something in his nail and ended up putting him in hospital, and then he died off an infection, sepsis or something that got into the cut in his nail. So he's fucking obviously somebody's out for him. The Reaper is after him, but he's just not going anywhere. Luckily, the Prince of Darkness, is that what he's called? He's back to rock the world anyway some more, but he's been taking CBD oil apparently, and he said that he's been seeing Martians or whatever, or he's taking that much, he's been seeing Martians, and basically he said that he's seen a few Martians in his day, but he's like CBD oil apparently is good for chronic insomnia. I didn't know that, so maybe you could smoke a spliff as well, but CBD oil apparently if you're insomniac. Anyway, he's back touring or whatever, so he's alive and he's touring. He might be in a wheelchair, but he's alive, and he's like gagging to get out there. He's been in a hospital bed for the last 12 months, so good to see him back on his feet. Not too many famous Brummies about, so as Ozzy Osbourne and the Peaky Blinders we both talked about today, and me, Wayne Lawrence. Imagine that. Remember that, should I say? What was I going to look at? Oh, I was going to talk about Donald Trump's not as stupid as he looked. I said, didn't I? And Donald Trump has put the blame on energy-saving light bulbs for his bright orange face. So the climate change skeptic has hit out at environmentally friendly green lights, which he claims are the reason he looks bronzed on the TV. So he's obviously got a, what's it called? He's sensitive on the issue, if you like, and you've got to wonder why nobody else looks orange on the same time when they stood next to him. So, you know, he could be the well, he's yellow, isn't it? I was going to say he could be the Simpson Homer Simpson next to Ned Flanders when they're having one of their meetings. But yeah, so he's blaming energy-saving light bulbs, even though he doesn't believe in saving energy or the climate or anything like that. So there you go. If you want an orange face, get yourself some energy-saving light bulbs on the advice of Donald Trump. What was it got? Was it this top pilot almost lost his job? £70,000 a year pilot. Almost got the sack after being caught stealing a pair of £64 trainers. Commander Sean Cox. Sorry, Sean, I've named and shamed you by accident there. Actually, I didn't want to say your name, but he's a commando helicopter pilot, and he's been fined $2,500 because he nicked these shoes, and he's on all that money. But I would say, where's he from? Is he from a council estate? Because you can take the boy out of the council estate, you can't take the council estate out of the boy. Not saying we're all thieves, but I'm just saying that you know, he might have grew up hard times, and he just thought, fucking, you know, take an opportunity when you can take it, even if he is on £70,000. Hopefully they weren't the Peaky Blinders trainers that I was talking about, because they're not worth £64 if they are. He doesn't say exactly what they were. So yeah, there you go. Don't embarrass yourself. Like who's that chef that was shoplifting? People do it. They just get that urge, don't they? It's like a little case of being naughty. If you can get away with it, you have a go. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire. It's just embarrassing if you get caught. The higher you are in society, the more embarrassing it is when you actually get collared. So I don't know, it's some kind of quirk, isn't it? Maybe just going back to your roots or whatever. Piers Morgan has blasted Sam Smith for asking the public to refer to him as they instead of him. Oscar winner has come out as non-binary. We spoke about this before. Piers tweeted, "Okay, so is they now entering a male or female music awards?" It's a good question. And will they be retrospectively changing all the pronouns in their songs, given that they sing repeatedly about he? So yeah, he's got you there. What are you going to say to that? He's got you. He's obviously playing devil's advocate there. You have to come back and answer that one, I guess. You don't have to answer Piers Morgan, Sam Smith, but obviously people don't understand or are not getting the old non-binary or not. So, you know, warm to the non-binary idea, because you're saying you're not he, you're not she, you don't care. It's almost like you're indecisive, or you don't know. You want to be one and then you want to be the other, which is exactly what it is, isn't it? So you could be schizophrenic. Maybe you should just come out and say that. But it's a mental thing, I guess. You're having anxiety over it, but obviously somebody's going to come out and sort of take the piss, or at least call you out and get you to sort of question, you know, what you is it really what you're thinking, or is it really just some kind of publicity stunt? I think that's where he's going with it. Was it somebody went mad about it the other day? Who's the chef off Breakfast Morning TV? He said, "I've had enough of this." He says, like, he went balmy. Oh, what's his name? James something or other. He's on the Good Morning. The one who does the fucking shit omelette competition. I can't think of his name. Anyway, he said, "I'm going to come out and call myself Otter. I want to be called Otter, because everybody's changing. They won't call themselves this or that. They won't call themselves male or female. So I'm going to call myself Otter. The world's gone mad." He says, "It's about time somebody stood up and sort of challenged all this situation." Well, there you go. I think Piers Morgan has just done that, and many more have been sort of chucking their voices around on Twitter. So you ain't got far to look if you want to see some people getting pissed off about it. Banksy, a 17-ton circus lorry spray painted by Banksy before he rose to fame, has failed to sell at auction. It was up for sale for 1.1 million to 1.5 million. No wonder he has. Well, all Banksys normally sell, but you can't put a fucking an Arctic lorry on your wall, can you? Who's got somewhere? Where are you going to put it? You know, not many people have got somewhere they can put a bloody big large truck. So they'll have to drop the 17-tonner, not just the fucking little truck, circus lorry. So probably be quite a cool thing to have, but you know, you need to maybe cut the Banksy off the side of it or whatever and ditch the truck. Maybe that's what they should have done. So yeah, if you want it, there's a truck, a circus lorry going for sale, probably on a bargain now if you want to get some money knocked off. Speaking of circuses, professional clowns reckon that their livelihoods are going to be wrecked by the release of the new horror film It, or It 2 in it, but I haven't even seen the first one yet. Fucking hell, I need to catch up. But yeah, they're saying that their livelihoods are being ruined because families won't let their kids hire clowns for their kids' parties or whatever, because the kids are going to be scared of clowns. One, the kids shouldn't be watching It anyway because they're 18 or horror films or whatever. Or two, you just got to move with the times, don't you? If you're going to be not invited to go and do kids' parties and you're moaning they're having this clown meeting and everybody's saying that they're going to lose their livelihoods or whatever. I don't even. Do people still ring clowns? That like fucking sounds very 1970s or 1980s. But all you got to do is just start getting yourself booked to go to horror to scare people instead. If that's the case, if that's the way it's going, you can still be a clown. You're just going to have to get booked to go and fucking shit people up, ain't you? So, you know, play the, what's it called, a scareogram or something like that. Don't tell me how to do your business. I mean, maybe there's a job there for me. Anybody could do it, couldn't they? If that's going to be big business, there you go. Business idea. Dress yourself up as a clown. Go and get some money. See if anybody will pay you to scare their siblings, their wives, or whatever else. It won't be for it's Halloween coming soon, isn't it? It won't be long before them killer clowns are out on the street again trying to fucking mug people and whatever else. So I see where he's coming from, to be fair. Was it the golden toilet? Anybody know about this? The golden toilet that got stolen. 4.8 million gold toilet that some designer had made. And where was it? It was in Winston Churchill's place of birth, Blenheim Palace. And somebody smashed through the floorboard, broken pipes, and they nicked this golden toilet. And it's the perfect crime, isn't it? I mean, it's almost fucking hilarious. First thing I said when I saw that was that they're going to be flush because it's a 4.8 million pounds worth of gold. I mean, that's just asking to be nicked, doesn't it? Because it don't look like there was much security going on. Can you imagine if that was in a bank? It'd be guarded beyond. Beyond gates, doors, whatever. It wouldn't be that accessible. So it was almost like asking to be stolen. So that's going to be melted down, disappeared, gone, way before that's ever going to be used as a toilet anytime again soon. So there you go. A golden toilet, that's just a ridiculous, what's the word? You're rich and you're stupid with your money if you're going to make yourself a golden toilet. So he kind of deserved to get nicked, really, didn't he? Speaking of somebody else who's made big money off, well, this is off the royals actually, not the Blenheim Palace, but Meghan's nephew has become Meghan Markle's nephew has become a millionaire after growing cannabis farm, cannabis that's named after her called Markle Sparkle. He's become a millionaire, as many others are in America, by basically jumping on the bandwagon with the weed legalization. So he's basically almost, how long has that been? A year, 2 years? Booming industry. So why the hell we're not sort of taking that on over here? Who knows? I mean, we are probably going to do it, but it's well slow in the process, isn't it? And look at all that money that can be made. And apparently, somebody said, because I made a comment on Twitter, someone got back to me and said that that people are being trained as as weed connoisseurs or weed. They're calling them bud tenders. So I thought that's a great name for a job, isn't it? So people who tell you about the different strains of the different weeds and whatever, and they're called bud tenders. They're like a bartender or whatever else. So so yeah, we're missing a trick by not making. Getting involved in all that, and I'm sure it's going to come along sooner or later, but I think this guy has just made a millionaire amongst many millionaires, weed millionaires. I mean, even Mike Tyson's got a cannabis farm. He reckons he smokes about fucking 50, it's got to be bullshit, nobody can smoke 50 grand's worth a week, But Mike Tyson's basically, I think he's been smoking too much to make him think that, possibly. But yeah, Mike Tyson's big into it as well. There you go. If not, do it in your bedrooms and just wait until it comes around. Just get yourself good at it. Practice illegally in your bedroom and then see where it goes from there. You might be the fucking new connoisseurs as soon as it becomes legal. Speaking of drugs, there was this guy, some scientists have discovered an anti-aging drug that could produce real-life Benjamin Button style age revival. A mix of growth hormone and 2 diabetes medicines took on an average 2.5 years off the biological age of groups of men aged 51 to 65. So there you go. All and sundry are going to be trying that. Your Simon Cowells and all your kind of Botox loving celebrities. I'm sure some women will get involved in it as well. So if you want a bit of reversal, they're saying that. What else is he going to do? Probably do something fucking worse to you somewhere down the line. Might reverse you for a couple of years, make you look a little bit younger. A couple of years later, you get yourself a fucking heart attack. There's not talking about any side effects there, are they? Right, we're going to finish up. It's been a little bit of a long one today because I've been late to the party. Some of you, this is old news now because it's the end of the day. So you've probably gone to bed and forgot all about today's news, but you're going to wake up and hear my sexy voice. Going to finish up on, what are we going to finish up on? Oh, Rambo. Where's my Rambo things? Rambo's out. I mentioned this the other day. John Rambo's back. And there's some facts here because the new film's just come out. It's been 40 years since John Rambo burst onto the screens. And 40 years, fucking hell. And I remember, you know, I was talking about First Aid being one of my favourite films. So, Jesus, how old am I? I have to take some of these Benjamin Button tablets, I think. See if I can go back in time. Rambo was named after an apple. The 1982 film First Blood was adapted from David Morrell's 1972 novel and was named after an apple after the Swedish settler named Peter Gunnarsson Rambo, the apple that was cultivated by him. Also, what was it? Sly Stallone didn't want to play the role. He took a decade to It took a decade to make the film, and during that time, Steve McQueen, Clint Eastwood, Paul Newman, Robert De Niro, and John Travolta signed up, and then all dropped out. Fucking hell! Imagine that would have been a totally different film. For starters, half of them are not alive, so you wouldn't have even got Rambo 2, 3, or 4 probably. So it's weird how the world works out, isn't it? Because them Rambos wouldn't have been as good without Sylvester Stallone in it. As I think that Patrick Swayze film said, Ghost. He was 10th on the list to play the part in Ghost, but because they saw him do an audition, he forced them to let him do an audition for him, and he read the romantic bit where he says ditto to Demi Moore, and they fell in love with him, and they said, this is the film, this is the guy who's going to play the film. So it was like not even the first choice, so it could have been very different. Same with this, it wouldn't have been the same without Sylvester Stallone, and we certainly wouldn't be looking forward to the new Rambo film when it comes out soon. Right, I've been waffling on, I'm absolutely knackered, so I'm going to leave it there and see you again tomorrow. See you later, bye.